Philly's favorite 100.7 FM and 99.5 HD3. Welcome to Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva, Desiree McDuffie, who knows all things about real estate. Today's show, we have a special guest. Get your pens out, get your paper out, be ready. Here we go.
Desiree Real Estate Diva here with another Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. Today I have an amazing guest. We are blessed to have Councilperson Katharine Gilmore-Richardson here to share some wonderful information with us. And I'm going to have her on shortly, but what I want to do is make sure that I honor her correctly by reading her bio and some information about this powerful woman. She's a powerful woman of God, and a powerful Black woman. This is someone you definitely want to hear from. So let me just tell you a little bit about her. So Ms. Katharine Gilmore-Richardson is serving her first term as council member at large for the city of Philadelphia. Gilmore-Richardson is the youngest woman ever to be elected citywide and the youngest ever African-American woman elected to Philadelphia City Council. She is focused on addressing the city's ongoing recovery from COVID-19, upskilling and reskilling our workforce, supporting local, small, and minority businesses, and addressing climate change and environmental justice. Councilperson Gilmore-Richardson has passed legislation that bolsters transparency and accountability in city government, requires businesses to provide information about workforce development and training when they separate an employee, cracks down on nuisance businesses, and integrates climate risks disclosure and sustainable investment decisions into the city's pension fund operations. Council member Gilmore-Richardson also created Philadelphia's first apprenticeship guidebook. The guidebook includes information about application requirements, training programs, career fields, and pay and benefits for over 20 apprenticeship programs in Philadelphia. Council member Gilmore-Richardson is also focused on improving Philadelphia's public schools. As a result of her work, the school district is now providing Tier 1 conflict resolution, awesome, which includes daily programming to every student in the district. She also has advocated for improving career and technical education curriculum to better align with jobs of the future and create more direct pipelines to family sustaining and supporting jobs. As the chair of the Committee on the Environment, Councilmember Richardson launched the Citizen Environmental Advisory Committee, which works to co-create public solutions that address environmental justice and climate change. In 2021, Councilmember Gilmore-Richardson was appointed to the United States Environmental Protection Agency's Local Government Advisory Committee. She is also the vice chair of the LGAC's Environmental Justice Working Group, and she's the only representative on the LGAC from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Ms. Gilmore-Richardson, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Greetings and good morning. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I mean, we are so blessed to have you, and I'm always excited to see you. And, I just really thank you for taking the time to share information with our listeners about this program that you're going to tell us about, as well as other programs to help our citizens in Philadelphia and surrounding counties to be able to remain in their homes. So without further ado, I really just want to talk to you and allow you to, give us the information about these programs and actually more about yourself and how you got started in, in politics, because that's just awesome. You're just a powerful woman. So let's just start there.
Sure. Well, first, I want to thank you, Desiree, our real estate diva, for all the work you do to educate and inform all of us about this process around buying and selling homes and, trying to find your next home and just being our go-to person in our community across the city of Philadelphia for our real estate needs. I've been following you for a long time, and you know how much I really, really just appreciate you. I am really honored to be on your show
because
I followed followed you for so long. Even when I visited, I think a couple years ago, I visited Christian Compassion, and I think Pastor brought you up for something.
Yes.
But at any rate,
he's always embarrassing me that way. So it's okay.
Yes, and I have to say, I love Church of Christian Compassion, and we visit very, very frequently, my husband and I and our whole family. But one of the Sundays we were there, Pastor brought you up, and I saw you there too, and I said, "Oh, she's a member of Compassion." So we just love you, and we appreciate your work. I'm grateful for this opportunity. But I am Councilmember Katharine Gilmore-Richardson. I'm serving my first term as a member of Philadelphia City Council. So we're in the third year of a 4-year term. This is our first term.
Wow.
And we'll be up for re-election already next year. So that 4 years goes by really, really quickly. But it really has been a lot of change and transition. I mean, when we first came in, everything was wonderful. And then 2 months later, before we could even move into City Hall, COVID hit. And we had to figure out how to conduct government business virtually. And then after that, obviously, we had civil unrest and just so many other things were going on. But during that time, I was able to deal with an issue that I, had been left with, a real estate issue. And this is what really piqued my interest in working on these type of real estate issues in city government. But I started in City Hall and in City Council when I was 15 years old. I met former council member Blondell Reynolds Brown. She had came back to our school at Girls High to talk to us about her career and that she had just been elected to council and not yet sworn in. And I loved her story, so I wrote her a letter, and I kept up with her, and she kept up with me. And I served in her office as a volunteer, an intern, her graduate intern when I was in graduate school. And then I started out being a constituent services representative, working in city council, helping people with everyday quality of life issues. And that's really how I got started when I was 15 years old. And I've just been blessed to be able to work in city council ever since. And so when the councilwoman decided not to seek re-election in 2019, I decided to run because I knew that our city was at a pivotal moment, and even more so now. And we need people who really understand how to navigate city government to make sure it's working for people so that we can get the best results possible for the residents of the city of Philadelphia. So that's really the long and the short. And as I stated, over that time when I was working in council, I lost my mom, my dad, and my grandmother in the midst of finding my biological family. It was it was a crazy time. And so I lost my mom and dad who raised me from birth and my grandmother who lived with us. And through that experience, they left us 2 properties in Winfield. And I already had my own house. In Winfield. And so I'm like, what are we going to do? Because we had to resolve those estates. We had to, try to get everything together. And because the properties had mortgages on them, I would have had to purchase them.
Yes.
So I had to quickly learn a whole bunch about everything real estate on the fly. But because of that experience, I was able to work on legislation and some additional regulations with the city to make things better for other people who I know are facing this issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of times we go through these experiences in life, right, so that we can help other people. So, what if you hadn't gone through that? I'm certainly sorry for your loss, But like you said, it prepared you to be able to advocate for other people in our community. So, we greatly appreciate that, Yeah. So in that experience, one of the programs that you've been able to work on is a repair program, home repair program.
Yes. So I want to talk about just a couple things really quick because I want to get the word out to as many people as possible about what we are trying to do to make sure that people can stay in their properties and keep their generational wealth. Because it's so important with how the city is changing. We need to ensure that we are keeping up with that. So if you live in a house that's in the name of a deceased loved one, don't live in silence. Don't suffer in silence like we did. My sister and I, even though I worked in city council and worked in city hall, we suffered in silence for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how long it took us to sort of get this together and to sort of find our way out. And so recently, through our neighborhood preservation initiative that was started by Council President Clark and our leadership team, we've invested $7.6 million over the next 4 years to help people resolve tangled titles. And what does that mean? Every year for the next 4 years, $1.9 million will go each year to helping the legal service agencies service families and help to pay for the costs associated with getting the house out of the name of their deceased loved one and into somebody's name who's living. And so if you need help with that, and you can't afford a lawyer, if you can't afford the cost, for that effort, you can contact Community Legal Service, the Philadelphia Legal Assistance, and any of the other organizations that we're working with. And I'll give my office number. You can just call our office and we can put you in touch with whoever you need. That is 215-686-0454. And, of course, the Register of Wills has a probate deferment initiative, which will also defer some of the fees associated with the program. And she has that along with our records commissioner. So we want to continue to connect as many people as possible to those efforts because we are funding those efforts in a way that we've never done before. We've literally quadrupled the funding over the last, year or so. And so we want to help as many people as we can because we know at least 10,000 homes in Philadelphia, if not more, are, suffering from having a tangled title. And then also, unfortunately, if you lose a loved one, now I introduce legislation that requires funeral directors to share a tangled title information sheet with families at the time that they're making the arrangements for their deceased loved one.
Wow.
So we're still working to ensure that, all the funeral directors have the information. We have it posted on our city website, but it just basically gives you information on what you need to do to avoid a tangled title, like what an estate is, what probate means, what a will is. Make sure if you own property, you have a will. Why having that in your name is important and how you can start the process and how you can get additional help. And so all of that is posted on the city website. I can be sure to send you the links so that you can share as well, but we can send that information to anybody who's in need. But in addition to that, we know a lot of folks that have a tangled title, they typically are in a home that needs a lot of work. And that's what happened to us. I mean, both of the houses we were left with, they need, and I'm not going to say needed, they still need a lot of work. And so over these last 5 years, we've gotten a lot done piece by piece, a little bit at a time. But now there's a program that I supported from a city council perspective that'll come out from the state. It's from Senator Savall, and the Whole Home Repairs Act is real. And it will give you up to $50,000 to make repairs to your home. And that would be in addition to like our city's basic system repair program. And so right now where we are in the process is the city of Philadelphia just submitted our application to the state up in Harrisburg so that we can get our dollars for the city of Philadelphia and get the program up and running. But folks will be able to submit an application over the next couple of months, and then the application will be processed, and you'll be able to get up to $50,000 in repairs for your home. And that means your whole home will be addressed. All the issues and challenges, that you may have in your property, roofing, inside the property, boiler, hot water tank, maybe just, other work around the house, bathroom, kitchen, whatever it may be, you will get those dollars to ensure that your home, the whole home, is repaired. And so as soon as that information is released for application, we're going to get it out to everybody because we want as many people as possible to take advantage of that program.
Absolutely.
It's the largest program of its kind.
Absolutely. I mean, that's powerful, y'all. Like $50,000 towards the. Do I qualify for that? Can I apply for that? I mean, that's powerful for a person to be able to get $50,000 towards the purchase. Excuse me, not the purchase. The repair of their home is going to help so many people to be able to maintain ownership of their home. a lot of people contact me to sell their properties because they just cannot keep up with the repair. And, you know, I talk about this all the time. I know you've heard me say this. As much as I'm all for, you know, people buying homes and all of that, and, you know, obviously I sell homes for people, but I am a true advocate for helping people to maintain or retain ownership of their homes, you know, because it is, you know, something that helps create generational wealth, you know, and that's something that's lacking in the Black community, you know, pretty much. So to be able to get $50,000 to repair your home is definitely powerful. And I believe that it will be able to help a lot of people to keep their homes. Are there any special requirements, income requirements, or what are the requirements for a person to be able to qualify for this?
Yeah, and so right now the city is working on all of that, but basically if you're at a household income of 80% of our area median income, so as long as you're around 80% of our area median income for the city of Philadelphia, you would qualify for the program. And we know that those guidelines have changed and the income amounts have gone up.
They have.
Simply because of just, you know, the pandemic and inflation and everything else. And so as long as your household is at 80% AMI when the program determination is made, then you'll be good to go. And I think everybody that thinks they're eligible should apply. A lot of people are telling us, well, you know, I rent. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I don't own, I rent. Cool. You know, renters can also have their homes repaired and adapted too. But the landlord would have to be a small landlord, meaning you only have under 15 rental properties. And you have to commit to keeping the rent affordable, and then you would receive a forgivable loan of up to $50,000 for each rental unit.
Nice.
So I think that's important too, because, you know, over time, as long as you keep the rent affordable, that loan would be forgiven. And I think that is key. So everybody can be eligible. Everyone can apply. And as soon as we get the application, we want as many people as possible to apply.
Wow. So for the landlord to qualify, all he has to do, he or she has to do is own under 15 rental properties. Now, is there an income requirement for them as well, or is that the only stipulation?
No, for the landlords, as long as you have no more than 15 rental units across no more than 5 properties.
Okay.
So say if you have a couple duplexes, or if you have 5 single, family properties, no more than 15 rental units across more than 5 properties. But you also have to commit to keeping the rent affordable. And then the landlord would apply for the program because they would receive a forgivable loan of up to $50,000 for each rental unit.
Okay. So I'm writing notes here. Sorry. I'm always taking notes here. All right. So good. This is awesome. I had no idea that this was for landlords as well. So I might qualify, right? I might be able to participate in this program myself. Awesome. Oh my God. This is really good information here. So Desiree, Real Estate Diva here. You are listening to Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva, and today we have a fabulous guest. We are blessed to have Miss Katharine Gilmore-Richardson. She is a council member in the city of Philadelphia, and she is sharing some awesome information with us about how a person who owns a home in the city of Philadelphia can repair their home and maintain ownership of their home with these programs throughout the city. It's good because I know several real estate investors who, because of the pandemic and they weren't getting, all of the money, right, that they could have gotten in some situations from tenants. Some of the upkeep of the homes have, suffered, So, this is definitely something that a lot of landlords will be able to benefit from it. Quite a few of my clients could benefit from this. So thank you.
Yes. No, we can't wait for the program to be rolled out here in Philadelphia. We just entered the resolution in council last week to enable the city to apply for the program to the state. So that's been completed. So the process is moving along. A lot of folks are asking us, like, when is this going to come out?
That was the next question.
Yeah, so right now, all the different counties across Pennsylvania have to submit their application to the state.
Okay.
That deadline is the end of January, January 31st of 2023. After that, the state will make everything available. And so we anticipate that folks can apply for the program beginning in the spring or the summer of 2023. So this is going to be a real fast turnaround. Like I said, we're going to get the information out to as many people as possible because we want many people to benefit from this particular program. It's one of the best legislative efforts that I have worked and been a coalition partner, and it has just been wonderful. So kudos to Senator Saval in his first term to get such a great piece of legislation up and running. And I think it's important, too, and I wanted to talk about really quickly some of the other things that we've done in the city to make sure that folks, even if you have like tax bills or, if you have other things, we want to make sure we're providing people with as much help as possible. Like that is so important because we want folks to stay in their homes. We always say the most affordable home you have is the one you already live in.
Yes. I say the same thing to many clients. And as a real estate agent, I can't tell you, Ms. Gilmore-Richardson, how often I talk myself out of work. I do. I know it isn't, my broker probably doesn't like it, but it is what it is, right? So, I mean, I always talk to people about how do you have to sell? I'm not going to get into all the details, but, like if you're selling this property is not truly going to benefit you in the long run, let's talk about some other options, right? What repairs can we make to the home? There are other loans and other things that they could have done before this, was implemented. This program was implemented. But, there's, the 203K loan. There's other home repair programs that they could have applied for to, be able to make the repairs to their homes and stay in their homes. Because the last thing I want to see anyone do, if they do not have to do it, is sell and then turn into a renter. I don't want that to happen. I hate to see that happening just because a person can't, repair their home. So, yes, I talk myself out of a lot of business because I really want people because, I'm passionate about, creating that generational wealth and, stability for families, in their homes. So, thank you so much for implementing this. But yes, let's get into all the other programs that's available with the city. I know you're about to talk about Loop and Homestead and all of those wonderful programs. So what else is available to help our Philadelphia members?
Sure. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of everything we have. I call it our greatest hits. But first, we always start with the homestead exemption. We just increased the homestead exemption from $45,000 to $80,000.
Nice.
And I want to shout out my colleague, Councilmember Kenyatta Johnson, because he was really working hard towards those efforts. Yes. And
That's my district.
So we've increased the value to $80,000. And what that means is if your home is worth $100,000, it would take $80,000 off the value of your home. So you would only be taxed at $20,000 instead of $100,000.
Nice.
Okay. And so everybody, if you don't have the homestead exemption, just go to phila.gov/OPA, apply for the homestead exemption. If you need help, just call my office. Again, it's 215-686-0454. Now, we also have a couple of income-based programs that we know help some of our constituents. So we have our water bill customer assistance program. Is based on your income, your age. If you have a special situation, you can apply for that program. We also have our senior citizen water bill discount program, and it'll get you a discount of up to 25% off your water and your sewer bill. You only have to be 65, live at the house that's on the application, have the water and the sewer bill in your name, and have a total income of $32,000 or less. Okay,
wow.
So a lot of people don't know about that water bill discount program.
I never heard of that program. How long has that been in
wow. This has been around for quite some time.
Oh, my God. I've never heard of this one.
Yeah. So
I'm making calls, y'all.
Yes. Apply for that, and, you can go, again, right online, or we can get you directed so that you get the senior citizen water bill discount. We also have the owner-occupied real estate tax payment agreement program. We call it UPA for short. We have all cute little names, UPA and Loop and all these other programs. But UPA allows homeowners to make affordable monthly payments on their property taxes that may be past due. So maybe you fell behind last year. Inflation is really getting bad. Maybe you fell behind. So you can get into a payment agreement with the city to ensure that you are up to date on your property taxes. And some low-income Philadelphians, some of our senior citizens, some of their monthly payments is zero. You just got to call.
Wow.
Okay, and just try to work it out. The next thing we have also is our long-time owner-occupant program, and that's one of the basic real estate tax relief programs for eligible homeowners if their property assessment has gone up by more than 50% or more over the last year, or more than 75% over the last 5 years. And so that's a lot of, percentages and mathematics. All I say is apply for everything and see if you're eligible. But basically what Loop will do, it'll limit your home's assessment increase to 50%. Or 75%, and lock in that assessment for as long as you remain eligible for the program. So as long as you remain eligible, you'll continue to get and be able to take advantage of that tax program.
Okay, and what's the eligibility? Is it income based or?
Yes, so you have to be the homeowner. Your taxes would have had to increase by those percentages. You have to live in your home for more than 10 years. Okay? And you must be in that UFA payment plan, or your taxes must be current. So if your taxes aren't current, you can just get into the UFA program or get into a payment installment plan. But the income eligibility has gone up. So if it's one person, you can have an income of up to $88,550. If you have a family of 5, up to $136,600. So that program is much more generous as far as the income eligibility. So I really encourage folks, particularly folks that live in, areas like the second council district, the first council district, South Philly, Point Breeze, Grace Ferry, University City, Brewery Town, Fishtown, all of those areas. I really encourage those folks and other areas to apply for that tax relief program. And what we've done for the first year this year is we have worked with Revenue, my office, we have worked with Revenue to change the eligibility guidelines to say if you're in a home with a tangled title, you too can apply for the Loop program as well.
Wow, that's good.
Okay?
Yes.
And that's never happened before, but we work with Revenue to change that regulation.
Wow, that's powerful, because I've had people contact me in the past about selling their, family's property because they just cannot afford the taxes either. So, and there is a tangled title. Oh wow, that's so powerful. Wow.
Yes. Yep. So we're doing as much as we can around a lot of the programs that are available. We're trying to expand those programs. But the last one I want to mention is low-income senior citizen real estate tax freeze. That program is important because that program will freeze your real estate tax bill, and the amount of property tax you pay each year would not increase, even if your property assessment increase and even if the tax rate change. So that's important too. So if you may be eligible, you're 65 or older, maybe you're 50 and older and you might be a widow, you would be eligible too, and there are income guidelines for that program. So there's a lot out there to help our constituents. We're increasing these programs. We're adding more dollars to the programs. We want to help as many Philadelphians as possible. So again, you only have to call my office at 215-686-0454. Again, that's 215-686-0454, and we will get you all the help and information you need.
Wow. I'm speechless. I mean, this is such amazing information. I knew about some of the programs here, but I certainly didn't know about all of these programs. And, this is one of the reasons why we wanted to do a show like this, right? So we can get the information out to the members of Philadelphia about these programs to be able to help them to stay in their homes. Wow, this is powerful. Such powerful information. So just some of the programs that you just went over was the homestead exemption program. I just want to make sure I got everything. So the homestead exemption program, the water bill customer assistance program, there's a senior water bill discount program, UPA, which is the payment agreement program. We have the Loop program. which takes off, property assessment, the increase in the property assessment. And then there's the low income senior citizen tax program for people 65 or older. But you also said that if a person is 50 or older and they're a widow, they would qualify for this program.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't realize their eligibility for all of these programs. That's why I say just call and apply for everything that you may be eligible for. We want to ensure that folks are able to stay in their homes and keep their most affordable asset, which is the home they already live in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Councilperson Katharine Gilmore-Richardson. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us. Just one more time, we want to make sure that you guys have the phone number to the councilperson's office, and that number is 215-686-0454. Is that correct?
Yes, that's it.
All right, perfect. And where can they get information about these programs outside of calling your office? Is it online? Is there a website that they could go to?
Everything is online. So if you just go to phila.gov, and once you get to the city website, you can just type in, they have down at the bottom, you have a link where you can go to any of the city departments or services. So when you click on services, you can look at payments, assistance, and taxes. And then right on the left-hand side, they have all the programs, senior citizen discount, payment plans, and you'll see everything right there. So the easiest way to do it, again, is just go to phila.gov. At the top of phila.gov, right after City of Philadelphia, it says services. And then just click on payments, assistance, and taxes. And then you can click right on the left-hand side. It has all the payment plans, UPA and LOOP and real estate tax freeze and water bill customer assistance program. We call that CAP. Senior citizen water bill discount, UPA, LOOP, real estate tax deferral program, homes. Everything is there. Everything you need is available on the web.
Wow. I was I worked in social services for 10 years before I started in real estate about 15 years ago. And you said several of these programs were available probably then, and I had no idea. And I was supposed to be providing the information to help people. And this information is just not out there to people. So please, if you guys know anyone who would be able to benefit from any of these programs, please share the information, right? The word says our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. That doesn't just mean, lack of knowledge about God or the Bible. We have to be able to share information with each other within our community. So please, please, please share this information. Talk to other people. Tell people, about Councilperson Gilmore's office, and, tell them to call the office and go to the website to get this information so that people can be able to stay in their homes. So thank you so much. I appreciate you once again.
Thank you. Anytime. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, for all you do in our community.
Thank you.
We love you, our real estate diva, and we thank you for everything you do on our behalf. And we will talk real soon. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well. Once again, we would like to thank Councilperson Katharine Gilmore-Richardson for the awesome information that she shared. Again, her office number is 215-686-0454. Any information that you need regarding any of the programs that we went over, please do not hesitate to call her office and or visit the City of Philadelphia's website for this information. I will also be posting this information on my Instagram and Facebook accounts. So if you have any information or any questions about any of the programs, please feel free to reach out to me as well. My office number is 267-238-2877, or you can shoot an email to me at dmcduffie@cb, C is in cat, B is in boy, P is in Paul, R is in Robert, E, F is in Frank.com. Or you can go to any of my social media accounts, Philly Real Estate Diva. Okay, please, 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 like Ms. Gilmore-Richardson said, if you think you might qualify, just go ahead and apply. Let them turn you down. But, please make sure you share this information, and we are excited to be able to share it with you. So until next week, guys, we have another fabulous guest next week. I can't wait. I will talk to you then. Bye.